Imagine a day when the sun, that silent star that sustains all life on our planet, suddenly awakens with uncontrollable fury. A blinding glare pierces the sky, planets feel the tremor of the solar wind, and auroras appear where you least expect them. But what happens when that same fury threatens to turn off our lights, destroy our communication networks, and put our entire civilization at risk?
Today we'll take you to the heart of an invisible but unstoppable danger, the explosive fury of the sun and its catastrophic impact on Earth. Prepare to discover the truth behind solar storms, the predictions that could change everything, and how we can be ready for what's yet to come. The era of calm in the solar storm is over, and what's coming may be more dangerous than we imagine.
The sun, that incandescent star that has accompanied us for millennia, now reveals its most aggressive and uncontrolled side. Every flare, every explosion is a warning of the latent fury lurking in its deepest layers. At the end of May 2025, a devastating coronal mass ejection shot from its corona, crossing the distance between us at astonishing speeds. What was then called the CME halo was practically aimed at our planet, impacting with a force that triggered a global alarm, a G4-level geomagnetic storm, the second most intense on the scale that classifies the most dangerous events. And what does this mean for Earth? The answer is disturbing. When these waves of energy suddenly crash into our magnetosphere, the protective shield that safeguards us from the charged particles of the solar wind, they dizzy and deform it. The effects of these storms can be catastrophic and varied. Electrical systems, the backbone of our modern civilization, are threatened. A severe storm can cause massive blackouts, leaving millions without power, communication, and access to essential resources. In extreme cases, these blackouts can last for days or weeks, causing social and economic chaos.
Orbiting satellites, essential for navigation, communications, meteorological observation, and military security, are also targeted. A powerful CME can damage or even destroy their circuits, wiping out global connectivity in an instant. Solar waves can also interfere with satellite navigation systems and disrupt telecommunications networks, generating an unprecedented communications crisis. But perhaps most astonishing and at the same time most disturbing are the early auroras at much lower latitudes than usual. In 2025, in places like New Mexico and even parts of Europe, the skies will be illuminated by curtains of green, red, and violet light, the product of these solar storms. However, behind their beauty lies a hidden danger. Prolonged exposure to these charged particles can affect the health of astronauts on space missions and, in extreme cases, even put airplane travelers on polar routes at risk.
Predicting these storms has greatly improved in recent years, but it still remains a challenge. Space weather experts warn that, given that the current solar cycle, known as Cycle 25, is in its peak phase, the odds of intense solar collisions occurring in the coming days and weeks are high.
It is estimated that between late June and August 2025, the Sun could unleash several large-scale explosions. In fact, current predictions suggest that new CMEs of severe intensity will likely occur in the next 10 to 20 days, with arrival times ranging from 18 to 48 hours after the ejection. Advanced models, fed by real-time data from satellites such as the Solar Dynamics Observatory and orbiting instruments, warn of the possibility that these disturbances could peak in July and August, generating impacts that could last for days or even weeks, depending on their strength. The scientific community remains constantly alert, monitoring the sun's every movement with cutting-edge technologies and prediction systems that, while not yet able to guarantee absolute accuracy, offer a better idea of what to expect and when. The key is to be prepared, not only technologically, but also socially and strategically, because in this cosmic game, timing and anticipation are our best weapons to reduce damage. The solar cycle is in full swing, and its fury has not yet reached its climax. The warning is clear: the more active the sun is, the greater the risk of devastating storms on Earth. History is still being written, and the coming weeks will be crucial to understanding how far-reaching this firestorm of plasma, which is calling our world to confront its own vulnerability in the midst of the universe, can be.
Preparing for solar storms is essential to minimize their potential impacts on our daily lives, infrastructure, and technology. Here's a clear and practical guide to prepare for these dangerous events. 1. Stay informed. Follow official alerts. Subscribe to notifications from agencies such as NOAA, NASA, and other space weather monitoring centers. They issue early warnings that allow you to anticipate events such as CMEs and severe geomagnetic storms. Consult specialized sites, pages, and platforms dedicated to space weather offer real-time updates and accurate forecasts. 2. Prepare your home and community. Charge essential devices. Make sure you have batteries, portable chargers, and flashlights ready in case of power outages. Stock up on supplies of water, non-perishable food, and medications. Communication plan. Define alternate routes and meeting points with family and neighbors in case digital communication systems fail. Protect electronic equipment. Use surge protectors or EMI, electromagnetic interference proof enclosures for critical equipment such as computers, routers, and other electronic devices. 3. Protect your devices and infrastructure. Isolate critical equipment. Unplug electronic devices when a significant storm is forecast to avoid damage from power spikes. Install surge protectors. These devices can prevent damage to appliances and electronic systems. 4. Stay safe during the storm. Avoid using electronic devices indoors during the storm. Power surges and lightning can damage equipment and put people at risk. Stay in safe places in the event of a power outage. Stay calm, stay indoors, and avoid high places or metal structures in case of meteors or severe electrical activity. 5. Learn about the warning signs. Intense northern lights, although a beautiful sight, they can be a sign of extreme solar storms. Communications or power grid disruptions, official notifications reporting failures or interruptions. 6. Be prepared for emergencies. Evacuation plan. In extreme cases, it may be necessary to move to lower risk areas, such as areas away from power lines and towers. Keep a first aid kit. Include basic medications, water, bandages, a flashlight with batteries, and other essential supplies.
When to act? It is advisable to begin preparing for a potential major solar storm warning, which is usually announced 24 to 48 hours in advance. Continuous monitoring and preventive preparation are the best strategies to reduce risks and protect your family and belongings. Here are specific recommendations for businesses, institutions, and space activities to prepare for and mitigate risks during severe solar events. Recommendations for businesses and critical infrastructure. 1. Implement a space emergency response plan. Develop clear protocols and train personnel on actions to follow during a solar storm.
Establish alternative communication channels, such as radio or satellite networks, in case of failures in traditional communications. 2. Protect electrical and electronic infrastructure. Install surge protectors on critical systems. Use shielding devices and reinforced lightning rods in electrical substations and distribution networks. Review and strengthen the resilience of electrical grids and avoid unnecessary loads during high solar activity events. 3. Monitoring and prediction systems. Integrate early warning systems that receive real-time space weather data. Set automatic alarms when potential CMEs or severe storms are predicted to activate preventive protocols. 4. Backup and redundancy strategies. Perform frequent backups of critical data. Design resilient infrastructure with redundancy in key systems to maintain operations during power outages or technical failures. 5. Internal and user communication. Regularly inform employees, customers, and partners about risks and preventive actions. Maintain open and clear communication channels in case of emergency.
Recommendations for scientific institutions and space activities. 1. Intensive monitoring and data analysis. Constantly monitor the sun and nearby space with specialized satellites such as the Solar Dynamics Observatory (SDO) and the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory (SOHO) mission. Analyze CME, magnetospheric, and radio propagation predictions in real time to anticipate impacts. 2. Space mission and operations planning. suspend or reschedule extravehicular activities (EVAs) and launches in the event of a high probability of severe solar storms. Establish protocols to protect spacecraft and satellites in orbit, including grounding or additional protection of sensitive systems. 3. Design and protection of satellites in orbit. Incorporate shielding and energetic particle protection systems into the structure of satellites and space modules. Design satellites with autonomous reconfiguration capability to minimize damage during extreme solar events. 4. International coordination and communication. Share data and predictions with other agencies and research centers for global monitoring. Participate in coordinated alert and notification systems for emergency response and planetary protection. 5. Training and simulations. Conduct periodic drills to train crews and personnel in solar emergency management. Develop detailed response protocols to reduce errors in crisis situations.
In summary, the key to protecting against potential solar threats is advanced preparation. Companies, scientific institutions, and space activities must implement reliable monitoring systems, strengthen their infrastructure, design emergency plans, and promote ongoing training. International collaboration and technological innovation are essential to effectively address these solar events, which, although unpredictable, can be managed with adequate preparation.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future ideas that challenge us to think outside the box. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, and don't forget to always maintain that curiosity that drives progress. Also, explore even more fascinating content on our channel. From life-changing tips and cutting-edge technology, to the mysteries of spirituality, travel to various countries, delicious recipes, health hacks, and language learning, there's something here to spark your curiosity and elevate your life. Dive in and discover a world of knowledge awaits us.